Hello there. It's that time again. I'm Melanie Browning with Spotlight, and today I have Alicia and John Farmer of Zepstone Media joining me here shortly.
Well, thank you so much. I know you guys are like right in the middle of everything, and it's so exciting. I love the energy that's going on your social media. I can only imagine all the great stuff that's going on set. We get a small glimpse of it if you're following on social. So, what is it like? Like you're right in the middle of filming. Can you give us an idea of what, or let us know of the film that you're filming and what's going on with that?
Sure. So we're filming Ride of the Shaman. It's a feature-length film. It's our second feature-length film. So we're like, here we go again. Here's the journey. Here's the adventure. They always are. So we're 10 days in. We've got 3 left. So we're almost done with principal photography. And we've
Awesome.
been filming since April. So we'll be wrapping probably July. We've got to take a little bit of a break, um, but yeah, July is going to be when we wrap principal photography, and then it's post.
Oh,
You
that's
know, we've got a good team, but post is always, you know, maybe just as stressful or even more stressful than
yeah.
so.
Because it stops there, right? Like that, it's gotta work, it's gotta flow, it's gotta. There's no pushing it off or doing anything. It's gotta flow there. So yeah, I can understand that. But there's a lot of power in that too. So that's kind of cool. Um,
Yeah.
how do you guys work? Do you do most of the stuff in house? Is it between you? Do you have a certain team, or what does your production company look like? And does it vary from job to job?
Yeah, it pretty much varies. We've got some standard crew, people that we've worked with before that we love dearly that we keep on board. But we definitely we find the bigger, better, and move up, and just like everybody. So
A lot of it is circumstantial too. We just happened to meet our director of photography on a
another
student film that we were doing a couple of months back. So, and we were like, we've got to get this guy.
Mm.
He's 20 years old. This person is a prodigy. Hi, Carson. So when we saw his work, we were like, we have to have him. And that meant doing things a little bit backwards. Usually we would crowdfund first.
hmm
Because of Carson's schedule, we're like, okay, well, we've got to start filming right now. It's going to be terrible and scary and wonderful, but we've got to do it. So,
That's awesome.
yeah,
And yeah, you're right in the middle of crowdfunding, right in the middle of filming, doing it
yeah.
all. And
We
like
would
literally like
not recommend
yeah.
that.
But you're
But
doing it. I mean, that's inspirational too, to show don't do it, but it can be done.
yeah, it can be done.
And
Um,
you're doing quite well on it. You're what, 60% funded already and 2 weeks out?
yeah,
yeah,
That's awesome. That like that close to being greenlit. So congratulations. I'm sure you'll be hitting that really, really soon.
it's a huge relief.
yeah.
Whew.
And for those of you watching, if you don't understand what that is, they're crowdfunding for the film through Seed and Spark. And what Greenlit means is once you hit a certain percentage of people pledging what they're going to donate, then that money will go to you, right? So that's
Mhm.
Yeah.
what the Greenlight process is. And then obviously you're going for the goal and beyond, I'm sure, because I know a lot of times, it's like you weigh the thing of, okay, what can we get funding for? And, there's always more things that money can go towards. So even though that
Absolutely.
80% mark's big and huge and good for you, obviously the more that comes in is better for the project on a whole. So if you're watching, go to the Seed and Spark and donate and support this wonderful crew here and everything that you do for this community. Um,
Thank you.
one of the things I really am curious about is like how far in advance do you plan projects? Because I know you're right in the middle of this, but do you have other things that you know are coming up next? Or do you kind of put them on the back burner until something kind of pops up and it's time to move forward on that one? How does that work for you guys?
So this one was kind of spur of the moment. We're in pre-production for Witch of Wander Lane, which started out as a short, and then we wanted to do a series. And so we had to take a step back and really expand the script and think about our potential target audience. And it's going to be kind of like Game of Thrones meets Sopranos, but with witches.
Ooh.
Some witches who own all of these kingdoms, and so, or who, are over these kingdoms. And so it's going to be a lot different than we initially started out with. So that's going to be like a 1 to 2 year long pre-production process.
No, we've already started on, so it's
right.
We'll probably.
But we started it like what, a year ago, maybe. So
yeah,
we're about a year into the planning process for that.
Wow.
And this Ride of the Shaman was just I get like these funnels where I just start writing sometimes, and we're like, well, what can we make in the meantime? Because we have to keep creating, just to kind of keep it going. And it was just a really tight, focused screenplay that's about really my son who overcame cancer. And we were just inspired to make it. So it was a very short process. I would say it was February that I wrote it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then I had help from Janice Spencer-Wise, who plays the ill mother in the story, and she was doing a lot of the writing as well. And she's had some experiences as a teacher at Brighton High School that really inspired a lot of the dialogue that we have in there. So
yeah, there's real life stuff in it for sure.
Yeah. Awesome. And who specifically, I know that like on there it says it's kind of geared toward, is it kind of geared toward to help people with depression or just to kind of bring awareness to it? What is the target there?
Probably awareness, but it really is an inspirational hero's journey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's more of like an adventure, but in real life.
Gotcha.
So instead of like this epic, like Lord of the Rings type of journey, it's more along the lines of what happens every day with people, and especially with, teenagers who are trying to find their identities and deal with hormones.
Angsty teens.
In the situation of Kai in the story, it's his mother who has the cancer. And so he's trying to cope with that while all of the other things are going on in his life.
Gotcha. That's a lot to deal with. I mean, it's a lot for anyone, but especially in that time frame, definitely.
But in reality, the lead was the one who had cancer, and yeah, it's going to be really inspirational. That's the goal. It's just to inspire and to give people a good feeling by the end of the film.
That's perfect. That's beautiful. Awesome. Well, I can't wait to see it. And is there any time frame that you're hoping for, looking at? Do you set time frames for yourself when you're in production, and especially heading into post?
Yeah, we're hoping to be
We want
wrapped.
it done tomorrow.
Those like people who don't understand how the filmmaking process works.
That was us.
Is it going to be released like next month? No. We're hoping to have it completed by September to release early in 2022.
Wow. Yeah, that's a good time frame. That's working really good. Awesome. Well, I'm super excited. I can't wait for that. One question I really am dying to ask you is, I know you have a background of acting and modeling, and John, you're in more the music end, and it says when you guys got together, the sparks flew. How did you go from forming a production company? Was it something that one of you was already starting to look at that, or how did that happen?
It started with photography, actually. I was doing a lot of event and candid types of photography.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we started to write films together and to produce them, we were like, okay, well, let's just abolish the sole proprietorship and turn it into an LLC as a film company instead. So that's what we did. It started out with photography, and I know a lot of cinematographers who started that way also. If you have that artistic eye, chances are you can pick up other skills, you know, in various industries that you can use that eye with. So that's how it started for me. I love photography, I love modeling. So, but once I got on the set of a film for the first time, it was like, what have I done with my life? I want to be on set. So yeah, it became a passion, and we just kind of took it and ran with it. And if it weren't for this guy, I never would have written a script to begin with. Because
Oh,
I come
wow.
from a writing background, but I just never considered doing screenwriting. So.
I called her out.
He did.
That's
I
awesome.
usually come up with like a billion reasons why I don't want to do something, and I'll come up with all of these logical reasons why not. And one night he was just like, "No, we're gonna start writing tonight."
Yep.
And I was just like, "No, we're not." Maybe he's like, "Nope.
Here's
Get out your laptop. We're writing right now." So I was like, "Okay, fine. Let's try it out and see where it goes."
That's awesome. That's awesome. Just jumping into action. It's good to have someone give you a little bit of a shove. So, and I'm glad that you did. You made some wonderful, amazing films. So that's awesome. So great.
Has anyone ever told you you look like Britt Marling?
No, I haven't gotten that one. Back in the day, it used to be Jodie Foster, but it's been a while.
I didn't have to see that. Anyway, sidetrack. You'll have to look her up now. I love her.
I will definitely do that. Awesome. So you're wrapping up production on this. How long, like how many ideas do you get, and are you able to really see it all the way out? Like what is the process for you? Would you, now that you're into the writing, do you just start writing and kind of see where it goes and see which one has the fuel behind it? Or do you just kind of get an idea, write it out and do everything? How does that work for you?
Yeah, generally it's we'll just kind of get an idea and run with it as far as it'll go.
Yeah.
And sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. I mean, City of Salt initially was going to be a comedy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so Ride of the Shaman, but the way that she works is that when she gets an idea, it's like I call it a funnel head. It's like sticking a funnel on top of your head and just jamming all the information in, and so that's kind of the same thing with Ride of the Shaman.
I get epiphanies, and I get like these aha moments, and then I'll just pound it out right then and there. And I usually have the frame in mind. Like I'll just have a vision, and all of the frame is already there. It's just a matter of filling the frame at that point.
I kind of come in and put in little fillers here and there for dialogue or scene, something like that. We just kind of we build off one another pretty good.
That's awesome. Now, how do you take that into the actual filmmaking process? Like, especially at the beginning of it. I like to gear this show kind of like to people that are like in that lost area. They know that they want to do something. Did you just start asking around? Did you just buy a camera and start filming different things? You had some of the equipment? How did that look? Did you just start kind of bringing people in? Or was it just from watching and observing and learning, you kind of already knew which direction you would take it in?
All of the above. Literally, it's people that we meet on set.
Yeah, get yourself on film sets. That's my biggest piece of advice, because especially if you're looking at producing or directing, you want to understand all of the different cogs in the production machine. So getting on set as even a PA is a good way to understand all of the different facets and kind of dabble and figure out where your skill set is and where your passions and strengths are. And from there you network, and it just becomes like pretty soon you're snowballing all of these, you get a snowball effect of all of these different people that so that when you do have an idea, you can reach out to them and say, hey, let's make some art. You want to make some art?
Yep.
All right, let's make some art.
Yeah.
Plan this thing. Let's have some meetings.
One of the suggestions I give anybody that wants to start a film is put your ego away and get people that are better than you, and surround yourself with people that know what they're doing, because you're not a jack of all trades. You're not going to be, you're not going to be perfect in every single category when making a film. So surround yourself with people that are better than you, that have been around the block more, so you can hit them up, get advice, and build an amazing team. And again, that's really what we've done on all of our sets. We surround ourselves with amazing people that give 110%, and we come up with magic, and they're the ones that make it amazing. So we're grateful for everybody we meet.
And on the flip side, give chances to people who have never been on a set before, because they'll support you. Their work ethic and their desire to learn. I'm all about mentorship and just education and really helping people learn. And I will literally
once the crew's established and you do a couple of days, then bring people on, because then you can.
Well, I'm saying, like PAs, for example. A lot of people are like, well, I want to be a PA on a set, but I can't get on a film set. Yeah. And that's part of the struggle, right? And so I'm just like, well, come on in. Like, let's bring you into the fold, and you can observe and maybe do some BTS or something, some behind the scenes while you're there, just so you're not feeling like you're wasting your time. But let's just have you shadow some people.
Is there even waste of time if you're on a film set? Like, I don't think that's a thing, right?
Well, hurry up and wait sometimes.
Well, yeah.
Hurry up and wait.
Take some pictures.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's super awesome. What do you see in the next 5 years? Where would you guys like to be? What would you like to be doing in 5 years from now?
Oscar by 40, that's my goal. No, I don't know. I mean, I have a day job. I'm a project manager by day. So I don't know. I just want to continue to improve and maybe get into Sundance someday, or, just kind of see where everything goes.
Yeah.
But in order to do that, you have to really go dark. And I have a really hard time with that, because I love just blasting things in marketing.
One of the things that I'd love to see in the next 5 years would be more filmmakers creating a community for the larger community, where everybody can start taking more of, like, because I've worked with musicians and trying to build a scene, so everybody's like, oh yeah, we've got a real vibrant scene here, let's go check them out. And the same thing with filmmakers too, is
very true.
Be able to support one another and lift the whole community up, so that the rest of the state and all that can, take everybody that's making these films seriously. I think that's really
the map.
Yeah, that's really important.
Yeah. And I mean,
I'd like to see 5 years building everybody up.
That's awesome. And this community has it. Like, you see it, and then you see the support that just on the post with you guys, I see the support and all the wonderful, all the cast and crew that have been in former things and are in your current stuff. And just, I love seeing that support here. I'm not familiar with a lot of other markets. When I was a kid, I was in the LA market, and it was totally different. I don't know what it's like now, but I mean, it's so beautiful to watch here. Definitely there's growth that can be had, but I think it's the people are there, and the love for the film is definitely there. So I love that, John. That's awesome. Imagine what it'd be like in 5 years, just continuing to grow that. So you guys are a huge part of that. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Is there anything else that you would like to say for people wanting to get into filmmaking, or in a particular aspect, either writing, anything along those lines, just some bit of encouragement?
Write something every day. Keep your brain working. No idea is a bad idea. Just keep, pushing, plugging away. That would be my suggestion for writing.
I would say don't get too caught up in planning, unless you're going for a really high budget or something. But just jump into it, because I mean, as humans, we get stuck in this bubble where we don't like change, and we fear the unknown, and it's kind of that fight or flight response. But if you can challenge yourself to just jump into something that might make you a little uncomfortable, then you can grow.
That's
So
getting on set.
if you're get on set, if kind of like me, where I was just like, well, maybe someday. No, don't do the maybe someday.
Never happened.
Jump in and do something and start something, because the hardest part is starting.
Yep.
Awesome. That's perfect. Well, thank you everyone that joined in. A whole bunch of people jumped in and said hi, so thank you very much. Where can people go? What's the best place for them to go and check you guys out and support you?
Facebook, Insta, Zepstone.com, but that, it's a little bit behind.
Yeah, it's way behind schedule again.
Mainly social media. You can look up Right of the Shaman or Zepstone Media or Alicia or John Farmer, and
yeah, we're
kind of everywhere as much as we can be. I'm trying to get into the TikTok thing, but maybe I'll have to.
I'm too old for that.
I need to take university on that or something. My daughter's like, Mom, your transitions could use some work, and I'm just like, oh God, I feel so old.
That's when you're like, here's some money, take it over for me, and let's see some. Yeah.
You're hired.
Exactly.
I definitely want to say though, and that is a huge shout out to the cast and crew
of
Right of the Shaman.
Most definitely.
And not only this particular cruise phenomenal, but all of the other crews that we've worked with, everybody that we've had the opportunity and honor of working with. I just want to give a big shout out to them and thank them for everything that they've done for us.
Too many to name.
Yeah, there is too many to name, but just the fact that I haven't forgot about them and just wanted to let them know that, between Alicia and I know that we just want to send a message out that we love them and keep up the great work, and we really appreciate them with all of our heart.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome. Beautiful. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for this precious time that you guys are sharing with everyone here. So thank you. It means a whole lot to me. And I'll be celebrating as soon as you hit that 80% and then your final goal funding for the Seed and Spark. And the link will be in this video. So everyone watching, go support them any way that you can. Like their posts, and if you can, donate some money to this duo here that is making just wonderful films here in Utah. So thank you guys.
Thank you, Melanie. It's awesome.
All right. Have a good night.
You too.
You too.